Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is adjective phrase 47. The adjective phrase today is penny wise and pound foolish, or you may also hear penny wise and dollar foolish. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. The British say penny wise and pound foolish, and Americans say penny wise and dollar foolish. All right, let's continue. If someone says that a person is penny wise and pound foolish, or dollar foolish, it means that someone is very careful and thrifty about small amounts of money. You know, they watch their pennies. They're very careful about not wasting really small amounts of money, but at the same time is careless or wasteful about large amounts of money. All right, let's continue. Of course, the British say pound foolish because the pound is their currency. And Americans say dollar foolish because the dollar is the U.S. currency. The origin of this phrase came from Robert Burton in his book, The Anatomy of Melancholy in 1621. So obviously, penny wise and pound foolish was first. This phrase was around 1621. This is even before the U.S. was even a country yet. So obviously, there was no dollar yet. So the pound foolish was first, but of course Americans, use the same phrase. They just simply changed it to dollar because Americans use dollars. It makes perfect sense. All right, let's continue. And we just really have two examples. His upstairs neighbor had a leaky pipe that he didn't want to fix. Yes, because he wanted to save that money. Thought he could get away with it, maybe. However, as time went on and he delayed, the amount of damage was considerable. Okay. He ended up getting sued for a lot more money than if he fixed it right away. So if you fixed it right away, the damage would have been pretty minor. Wouldn't have cost him that much money, but he was trying to get away with it. He tried to save and see if he could not have to spend that money, and it ended up costing him a lot more money. Okay. This type of behavior is being penny wise and pound foolish. Yes, you realize that, if you don't do this, this is just going to get worse and it's going to cost you more money. But he still tried to save that money, and that was a foolish thing to do. All right, let's continue. Number 2 here. Don't cut too many corners on building materials. You want to avoid being penny wise and dollar foolish, especially if somebody's like building their own house, or if somebody's building their own building. Build it well the first time, and it will last longer and probably cost you less maintenance in the future. So in that sense, you could be penny wise and dollar foolish if you don't do that. You try to cut too many corners and use too many cheap materials, it may backfire on you. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. Hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.